Welcome. Today's conversation with React Mobile is about response time and how it impacts employee safety. Today, we'll be talking about why safety is a key priority for hotel owners and staff, how to use the employee safety solution you have to minimize response time to increase employee safety, and how to evaluate purpose-built versus multi-purpose devices for whether they are going to accomplish exactly what you need. My name is Riley Eller. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of React Mobile for the last year and a half. I've been designing embedded systems for businesses for about 30 years. The reason we need hotel safety solutions is just simply because our employees, our team members, are being harassed on the job. About 3 out of 5 say that they've been sexually harassed on the job, and 24 out of 25 say that they would feel safer going to work if they had a panic button. For most hotel employees, other than security staff, our personal safety isn't top of mind day in and day out as we go about our jobs. Across the hospitality industry, we have a literal open door policy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, our properties' doors are open for people to come in and enjoy the services we provide. Unfortunately, that also leads to a reality that people come and go from the property in conditions that we didn't set up, and they may bring troubles and woes in from their life, from nearby properties, from their experiences, and they may end up taking out those emotions on other guests or on our staff members. Our customers have these situations on average about every 10 months on each property, so it's enough of a problem that we need to be ahead of it. But it's also a rare enough problem that it's important that we engage more frequently to ensure that our staff are trained up and able to handle these situations using the employee safety devices that we offer. With the 5-star promise from the AHLA coming due now and soon, we know that a lot of different kinds of products and solutions are being offered into the marketplace. We'd like to talk about what are these situations, why do these things happen, and what's the best thing that we can do to get the right products and use them as effectively as possible. Just last year in 2021, React Mobile saw 701 serious incidents out of 211,000 button presses. We had a guest dispute with a valet, verbal assault of a staff member, one guest punishing their children was the exact words in the notes, so loudly that a staff member in the hallway was frightened. We had an irate guest, probably more than one. We had a staff member who had a medical emergency in one of the guest rooms. And strangely enough, we even had a guest assault the limousine driver on the way back to the airport from a casino property. These kinds of attacks are, again, not very common, but they're often enough that we really need to be prepared, and we need to train our staff to be ready as well. When you press a panic button, what really matters is how long does it take someone to get to you. It is the most crucial feature of calling for help that someone comes to help. When you're in that tense and frightening scenario, it's important to feel a sense of calm and reassurance from the employee safety solution that it's not going to escalate the situation or further anger a guest, and that it's going to bring help just as soon as is physically possible. So that means practicing and measuring and understanding how large the property is, how long it takes people to recognize the alert, how long it takes them to cross the distance and knock on the door and be that rescuing angel. In 2011, as I said, we had 211,000 panic button activations. The time from the button press to the service notification was 0.5 seconds on average. We have a target arrival time of 59 seconds, inside of the first minute after the button press is received. Of course, that depends on property size and how many people are there to respond and so forth. Our actual ticket close time last year for 211,000 tickets was 177 seconds median. So as the button press happens, the first step is to alert the server. The server then turns around and notifies responders. The nearest responder moves to the incident. And at that time, with the new React Mobile product, the clock stops on measuring response time, because we really want to measure how long does it take for that person to arrive and change the nature of the situation. After the person arrives, after the response time is measured, then there's the matter of resolving the incident, and then taking time to do bookkeeping and close the alert and add in further notes. So the whole process averaged under 3 minutes for us last year. The arrival at incident was as low as 45 seconds. So we're very excited to continue building tools and technologies to ensure that that response time can get to and stay under 1 minute. The most important thing that you can do to be prepared for these incidents to arise is to have a safety solution and to have a plan for how that safety solution will be deployed and used, and to have that plan be something that we operate and test day by day. Implementation really deeply matters. Indoor location technologies are far more sensitive to building construction materials, shapes of rooms, reflective surfaces, water. All these things can subtly impact where a responder is sent in the event of an alert. We need a professional installer to take the time to ensure that the implementation of the safety solution is highly accurate, so that the first room, the first location that the responder goes to is the correct location, and we can stop that response time clock, get the knock on the door, and give the sense of relief to the staff member who pressed the panic button. Ongoing training, for example, we have twice a week webinars. We have videos embedded inside the product that allow users to receive repeated training to help them understand how to press the button, when to press the button, and what to expect after they press it. That training is a key piece to refreshing the product training cycle as staff changes and as we hire back up to reinflate or to refill our staff ranks after the last couple of years we've had. The value of training is knowing how long it's going to take when someone presses that button for help to arrive. It's good to practice and to get the rust out and make sure everybody knows how to and how quickly to proceed across property in a dignified manner that doesn't alert or alarm any of the other guests. It matters a lot how fast we can respond, and one of the ways that we can teach people how long they need to wait after they've pressed the button is to have this practice run every single day. So our recommendation in our tool presses for users to press the panic button once a day. And that should be a part of standard operating procedure in order to develop a lot of rigor and practice and training, and to have standard operating procedures that include knowledge of how quickly a response is going to arrive. The React Mobile products are purpose-built exclusively to hasten the arrival of a responder. Everything in our product suite, everything in the way that we think about our business is meant to reduce the time it takes to get help, because the help is so critical. When you have a multi-purpose device, for example, Motorola walkie-talkies, which are the gold standard for team communications. When you have a walkie-talkie device, it's great, but they also are very obvious. They're visible, they're easy to see, and they may serve some amount of a deterrent effect for an assailant, but they also invite the person to reach up and take that device to prevent help from being called. Drawing attention to a safety device shouldn't ever happen in a duress situation in an enclosed area. There's a reason that bank panic alarms are not on the wall with bright colors, but under desks, because we don't want to notify the perpetrator that we're getting help and that help is on the way. We want to keep that quiet until the moment is already passed and the door knock happens. So a good employee safety solution should be wearable. It should go with you every day, everywhere on property, and be something easily within reach. It should be, the whole system should be discreetly placed so as not to call attention to itself. We don't want to even give people a heads up before when they check in, for example, that there could be a panic button installed. The whole point is to have an ace up your sleeve, to have a wild card that gets you out of trouble, a get out of jail free card, as it were. And anything that we do to notify people of that is going to change their behavior. Unfortunately, it's not common for a person who is of that violent mentality to fail to be horrible. Instead, what happens is that when they see that there is a safety solution, it angers them more and can make them more violent. So every part of the system needs to be thought through and designed entirely with the safety of good people in mind and keeping the safety of those people out of the minds of the bad people. For us, we're very proud that our expert installers are able to eliminate missing room numbers or skipped room numbers, or the kinds of problems that happen with self-installed products. Self-installation is attractive for the price, of course, but it generally leads to an increased number of erroneous room locations, which again can send the responder to the wrong place, to the wrong floor, sometimes even. Our custom-built software is designed entirely to keep the focus on managing the whole system and managing it so that when the button is pressed, help will be on the way, guaranteed. All of our products update themselves over the air. There's no need to plug in or deliver them or return them for refurbishment. Any new features that are delivered are immediately available to all customers should they choose to enable over-the-air upgrades in their portal. Our support staff are available to you always, and with your dedicated client success manager, we are confident that your experience will be accurate, correct, and personalized to the exact property and staff that you're working with. As you evaluate the various products on the market, some key things that we think you should be thinking about, ways to compare and contrast different products. We believe firmly that a purpose-built product is the only way to ensure that your staff will correctly operate it and get the help they need, rather than potentially press the wrong button and ask the wrong person for the kind of help they don't understand how to deliver. A panic button should have a silent alarm, as I've said. It should have verified response. Once you press the panic button, it's good to know that the alert has been activated. It's good to know that you've done your job. But sometimes it's very helpful to know exactly when someone says, "I'm on the way, I'm coming to help you." React Mobile panic buttons change a LED light flashing pattern so that you can tell first when the alert was received by the service, and second when help has volunteered to be on the way. Instant activation. A lot of products on the market will take time to wait for an operator to talk to you, will dispatch someone, will potentially call 911 for you. All of those are attractive. They're good features, but unfortunately they take far too long. Rather than having a response time measured in seconds or a minute or two, the response time for products of that nature tends to be in the 15 to 20 minute realm, at which point grievous harm could have already been done. So those count less as an employee safety solution and more as an incident cleanup system. They don't really save people. And we think that it's most critical that the device, once pressed, is completely finished being used. The panic button can be thrown away after the button is pressed, and it will still generate the response that's needed. Devices with speakers and microphones seem attractive, but what they really do is they offer excuses and ways for people to decide not to come to help. And when we're talking about employee safety, there's really only one choice, and that is to knock at the door and make sure that our staff member, our teammate, is unharmed. Many of our end users have reported that they feel more confident using a panic button solution when they know that it will not track them until they press and activate the alarm. Activating the alarm is the only way to turn these devices into a tracking device, And that helps to engender trust, the exact trust that's going to be required when they know that they need to press the panic button and they hope that someone will be immediately on the way to knock on their door, change the situation that they're involved in, and rescue them and get them out. The solution, as I've said, should be easy on your behalf to install because professional installers should handle it. You should have great support behind you. The devices should be hidden from view and not obvious. And as with all of our products, should have an excellent battery life. Our devices last for weeks on a charge if they're rechargeable, or years on a battery if they have a standard battery. That's all I have for you today. I appreciate the time and your attention and your desire and motivation to make your employees safer with a dedicated employee safety device solution.